Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more oxygen not included in the Super Duper Grouper base. So last video we set up a little hatch farm over here, which is going great. Got a couple of eggs now, excellent. Plenty of incubation going on. Could set up some dedicated incubators if we want to research that tech, but it's going to draw more power than I'm willing to spend at this time, so that's something we'll come back to. Alpha nearly murdered Shadow. Don't know why they're hanging out over here as if everything's completely fine, because it absolutely is not. And we were able to, one, extract a bit of hydrogen and get that set aside over here. Also, kind of wall off the cool slush geyser and keep an eye on what's going on over here. So we're getting about 4 kilograms of polluted water per second at a very nice cold temperature, which is great. Loving what I'm seeing there. The problem is, if I'm going to analyze this sucker, I really needed to go into a dormant state for a while, and that's, I have no idea when that's going to be until I analyze it. So, in preparation for that, we're going to want to be able to drain the tank out to some degree. Could use the liquid pump, but I don't know, we've already got way more polluted water than I have any particular use for. What I'm going to do instead, for the moment at least, is I'm going to dig out some of the area around this. So let's say specifically something kind of like this. Let's just dig this whole area out so that when the time comes, it'll be very easy for me to simply drain some of this water out into a little cool temporary area so that I can analyze it at a moment's notice. Maybe that works for me, maybe it doesn't, but we'll at least try. Now, in the meantime, we did research a natural gas generator, which I'm debating whether or not we actually want to use at some point here soon or not. I mean, we do obviously have a natural gas geyser. I've been concerned about my power generation as of late, so this could be helpful. Simply pump in some of the gas. We'll have some carbon dioxide and polluted water that comes out of it, and it produces 800 watts of power and 10 kilo DTUs of heat. I don't know what a DTU is. I know what a BTU is. That's like a, what is it called? Is it the British thermal unit? I think this is supposed to be like dupe thermal units, because like obviously the British don't exist in this fictional universe. So it's pretty hot, but not that much hotter than a regular cold generator. So that's a thought. Yeah, we may want to consider moving over to this. Now that said, if we can minimize some of our power usage as much as possible right now, that's still not all that bad, so we can hold off on it for a little bit. Hey, look what decided to go idle. Okay, this might be a brief moment to try to get in here and analyze this sucker. But this time, let's please not lock anyone in here. All right, analyze, top priority, go, 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 go. Yeah, we have all this nasty polluted oxygen and stuff that's getting around. People can still breathe this, believe it or not. Despite the fact that it's gross and they're gonna have yucky lungs, they can still get in there. And actually, you know, having some polluted oxygen, it's better than having to run all the way back here. At least, you know, for me. Not for them, but for them. For me, at least it's a little bit better, saves me some time. Get to it, Alpha. This is gonna take a long time. All right, I've dug a small little trench down over here. Let's go ahead and unleash some of the water, because the water, you know, being submerged in the water, it's a pretty effective heat conductor, thermal conductor, just simply having a liquid. So I'd rather go ahead and just drain this all out, lose some of the water for now, clear this area out so that Alpha is not going to be quite as cold. That's what I'm shooting for here. And then we'll probably need to mop up some of the excess. I've actually got a handful of idle dupes with not a lot to do, so they'll be looking for a job anyway, right? I'm trying to manage Alpha's body temperature. She's really cold. 15 degrees there, like that's chilly. And it was actually down almost 13 by the time I got her the heck out of there. One thing we could do, if we wanted to do this now, it's certainly an option for us. We could set up some of these Atmosuit docks and a checkpoint right here. In other words, you're not allowed to leave this area unless you're wearing a suit. And if we stopped queuing up jobs over here, that would mean that Alpha will have to pick up the suit, and then she can go work in the cool slush geyser pretty comfortably for at least a bit. Not a terrible plan. Honestly, having 2 suits might be good so that some people are able to continue building and digging out in this area if we need to. Might want to consider doing that. The one downside I can think of to something like this is you do need to be pumping oxygen into a suit. So that would mean we need to be getting ourselves a gas pump, preferably like, let's say, one over here close to the electrolyzer so these things don't get overpressured and they can keep working at full capacity. And then we would want to pump some of this gas down over Mealwood. Might be an okay idea. Okay, the analysis of the geyser is finally done. Now we have a good idea what's going on. It's going to erupt in 0.3 cycles. Okay, good. Next dormancy was going to be in 18.7 cycles, and it looks like every 158.7 cycles we get it for about 93. So it's going to be up about 2/3 of the time. We should definitely grab this data bank, or this disk right here, because these things are pretty useful and hard to get later. But you do get them from analyzing geysers, so I want to make sure we snag some of that as quick as we can. Okay, our geyser is now fully encased once again with insulated tiles, and I did place down a little hydro sensor down here, which will allow us to send signals to the pump if we're finding out that the pressure of the water is insufficient. Mainly, just like if there's not enough water around here, just don't waste the power on the liquid pump. That's pretty much it. Not going to worry about anything else. If anything, honestly, that should be pretty easy to meet because this tank should start to fill up with water, with the exception of a little bit of gas probably on the top. Actually, if I had pumped this sucker out into a vacuum, we would have allowed for even more liquid to be stored in here. So there was something to be said about that, but that would have taken a lot of effort. Anyway, over here, I'm going to go ahead and start setting up a Dreckos ranch, and I do want to create a little liquid lock over here. Because, unfortunately, as much as I would like to use a regular airlock before going into a carbon dioxide and hydrogen-based environment, we already know that simply placing down liquid is, by a long shot, the most effective method of doing this. So, yeah, go ahead and pump up some dang water and start filling this sucker. Okay, so we've got this now enclosed with some insulated tiles, so it's easy for us to control the temperature. Now I'm going to go ahead and start pumping out all of the oxygen in this area, which shouldn't be difficult. It's not like there's that many grams of oxygen per tile as is, but we're trying to create a vacuum here because, again, the goal is to basically fill this sucker up with some hydrogen and carbon dioxide. Is it a big deal if there's a tiny bit of oxygen in here? No, but by removing it, it's pretty easy for me to ensure that every tile is going to have the gas that I'm looking for specifically. So we're just going to siphon this area out, create a vacuum using my liquid lock, and then simply dump it into the base. God, I feel so good when I don't have a ton of tasks that are drawing people all over the place. If I say I want this place cleaned out, look at them, just like 6 of them just come in here and do exactly that. It's great when everyone works as a team. I love it. Oh, what happened to my eggs? They didn't hatch. I think someone may have picked up, I think I see it, actually. I think someone picked up my my eggs and dropped them off over here. That's annoying. Well, that's fine. Once they hatch, which, was that just now? It was! Well, talk about timing. Let's go ahead and wrangle this thing and then just go ahead and place it back in the pen. All right, at this point, I think we can say this is good enough. I mean, yeah, there is still a few milli-something grams of oxygen left, but it's practically no atmosphere. It's not quite a vacuum, but we're really dang close. And it's going to take a while to get through the rest of this. All right, so let's go ahead and deconstruct some of this stuff because we no longer are going to need it. And we are instead going to release the hydrogen out of our gas reservoir and see just what kind of density we're looking at over here. So we'll release at least a handful of kilograms of that, and then we're going to pump some of the excess carbon dioxide up over here, and the goal is to have at least these couple of bottom tiles filled with carbon dioxide, maybe even the top 3, I don't really care, and the rest filled with hydrogen, ideally. I'm definitely drawing too much power now, by the way. I'm watching as several things start to shut down because we can't keep the smart battery up and running. It's because I'm trying to crush down some materials while also doing research across the board. Like, there's a lot of power being drawn, admittedly. Dangerously so, in fact. But, nah, that's fine. Once we're done with some research, which right now I'm working on just, like, some extra automation technology. Nothing too important right now, but stuff that is like, maybe someday I'll wish that I had this. And then we'll worry about turning this all off and we'll keep this going. We'll generate power soon enough. What I need to do now is hook up my Atmosuit dock as well as a shearing station so that once we move Dreckos over here, we'll be able to properly shear them when they do have something to shear. Oh yeah, and I guess let's make sure that we actually get the hydrogen out. So we're dumping out, this is gonna be some many kilograms of hydrogen. Let's go ahead and disconnect the network here and just prevent any more from getting out for now. Let's see how this looks, then we're going to pump in some of that carbon dioxide I was talking about, but I expect the entire room is about to fill up with a thin amount of hydrogen gas. I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near as much as I want, but we're definitely starting to see some appear here, so it's getting there. It's just it's a lot of space to cover, you know? That's not nearly enough. Unfortunately, that's also all I've got. So we were able to get up to about 300 to 400 grams right now in hydrogen. Now, we'll increase this density a little bit by compressing it by taking a few tiles and putting in some carbon dioxide. So let's do that next and just kind of see where things stand. Okay, here comes some packets with just about 500 grams of carbon dioxide. So not a whole lot, but that's going to start filling in over here. And it is, of course, going to sink immediately down to the bottom. So that's kind of where things stand over here at the moment. Still nowhere near enough. What kind of pressure do we need for mealwood again? Between 150 and 10,000 grams. So technically, we're actually probably going to have almost enough pressure just to grow the mealwood. What kind of pressure do the Dreckos require? That's a different question. Properties. I don't know if it actually says, but I'm pretty confident they need to breathe. Weird, it actually doesn't say, it just talks about ideal temperatures. Huh, that's not quite what I expected there at all, all right. Well, technically, maybe we just need enough atmosphere in order to make the mealwood feel happy. That maybe. All right, well, in that case, just a little bit of extra carbon dioxide doesn't feel like it'll go amiss. There we go, that's just about enough to cover the entire bottom half of the ranch. Any more than that, and we would need more hydrogen in order to balance that out. I don't want to accidentally force all the hydrogen to the very top. Now, you might be wondering, why do you need hydrogen? I believe, if I remember correctly, hydrogen is a necessity for the Dreckos to walk around in order for their scales to grow, for us to shear them. So you need to have some of that, but we need to have either oxygen or carbon dioxide or something down here for the mealwood to grow. And the reason we want mealwood down here is because Dreckos can eat that, and by eating mealwood, they will be able to become glossy Dreckos, or at least lay some glossy Drecko eggs. Also, a great thing about having the carbon dioxide down here instead of oxygen is as the mealwood grows and it drops its lice naturally on the ground for the Dreckos to eat, the carbon dioxide should prevent some spoilage. So something I'm going to do over here is just make sure that auto harvest is disabled from all of this, because I do not want to accidentally take any meal lice for myself. I want to disable this completely so the lice falls on the ground and the Dreckos have something to eat. Now, here's something I didn't think about. The airlock right here, the water lock, is not going to work because this is not considered to be a ranch. The room is simply far too large because there's not technically a door here. One way we could fix that pretty quickly is to set up a pneumatic door right here. That might be all we need. I was thinking we could also drain out a little bit of the water and place, let's say, a door right here. But let's just see. Yeah, no, the room's still too large. It's 104 tiles. It has to be at least 96, or at most 96. So I need to find a way to get about 8 more tiles out of here. 1, 2, 3, that's not going to cut it. Moving the door here won't do the job either. Ooh, might have slightly messed this up. Okay, well, no, it's not the end of the world. There's an easy solution to this. It's called simply placing down some tiles over here and making this whole thing a tiny bit smaller. And you might even ask, why even make it this big if you're going to have only a couple of Dreckos? Well, I'm hoping to have as many as possible once they become glossy. And you don't want your animals to become overcrowded in a room, am I right? So, yeah, like these guys, for example, are feeling a little cramped as it is. And cramped's not good. It reduces their reproduction rate by 100%. So we can't even have this many dang hatches in here. We're going to have to find the oldest one and go ahead and cull it. There we go. Now the hatches don't feel cramped. Actually, that's kind of one indicative problem, though, that I'm not going to be able to have enough hatches in here to keep my coal generator up and running. So next video, we absolutely need to get our power figured out, or this is just going to continue to bite me in the butt. All right, let's go ahead and remove some of the debris that is currently sitting in here. We're going to need to get some power situated. 60 watts, huh? Okay, well, we can go ahead and just kind of hook this sucker around over here, and then boom. So are we now small enough to be... Gosh dang it, what now? 97 tiles? 97 tiles?! We're 1 tile short? I thought I filled in way more than that. What the heck? Fine, we'll just go ahead and place the door in the water and open it up. It's a pneumatic door, so it doesn't displace the water anyway. Now we have a stable. Excellent. All right, you know what that means? It's time to go a-wrangling. Get it, Ruby! Grab that Drecko! Oh, I look so peeved. You stupid little alien demon goat. Cheap thing. I don't even freaking know what you are. There's another one somewhere. Did we grab him already? Actually, we already grabbed him. Cool! Bag him, tag him, and throw him in the ranch. There it is. It's strangely happy. Can't really say that I understand why. It's trying to forage and find some food. Gonna have a hard time with that, at least until the mealwood grows and it's only about halfway done. Can you survive for another couple of cycles or so? Is that a thing? And it's gonna be about 1.6 cycles before you can eat. I can drop off some food. Oh, you ate the mealwood. Did you just eat the wood itself? Is that what happened? Okay, well, in that case, you know, have fun. Maybe they don't even care about eating the meal lice. Maybe they just eat the wood. They eat a branch or two. Hey, just pooped out some phosphorite. Lovely. Okay, phosphorite, I don't even remember what this is good for, really. Saturated with phosphate. Interesting. Properties is bait, solid, or agricultural. Huh. We'll take care of that later. Hey, look, oh, don't stop shearing him. Okay, yeah, you can't breathe, Ruby. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, fair enough. That is why you're gonna have to use an atmosuit going forward. You can finish trying to shear this sucker up for now. He's almost done anyway. There we go. Oh, look at it, it's disgusting. He's got like a little shaved nub on the back. Ugh. Yeah, I hate these things, honestly. I really don't like them. But anyway, now we have a way of getting some reed fiber, at least until we start turning these guys into glossies and they start laying some of the right eggs. And with a few more reed fibers, I can just continue making some additional suits. Ah, crap. Wait a minute. No, I forgot. I'm sorry. I set up the pneumatic door and left it open, and Drecko escaped. A naked Drecko is running around, ladies and gentlemen. That's fine. We'll wrangle him in the morning. He's not going to go very far. What's going on with this suit? Do you have to have this thing enabled for it to retain oxygen? No, we're shoving oxygen into it, and then it's immediately losing it. I'm not sure what I messed up here. I thought the whole point is you drop the oxygen in, and then it stays in the suit. But look at that. Nothing's happening. Are we deleting the oxygen, or is it actually going anywhere is the other question. That'd be really frustrating if it turned out we were accidentally deleting all of this oxygen. Huh. I actually don't really know what's going on with that. I will have to research this and get back to you. This is probably really obvious, but for me, it feels like we charged the suit, dang it, and it's got like a leak in it or something. That's right, you Drecko, you get back in your place. I don't know what's going on with this, but apparently people are refusing to pick up the Drecko. It escaped, and I had to trust it again, and still no one's getting it. Ruby definitely could, but Ruby has chosen not to. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. What is actually going on here, though, for real? It's this thing, isn't it? Yeah, they can't get in because this isn't working. Okay. Disable this real quick. If anyone wants to go do any work over here, that's fine. Let's just take care of this real quick. Shut this thing down until I can figure out why I can't get the oxygen to stick. Now Ruby's probably gonna go do this. Hang on, move over here. And then, nope, wait, never mind. Shadow can bag it. That's fine. Bag him, Shadow. Bag him. Yeah, there we go. Huh. Yeah, I really need to figure this out. This is actually going to be a huge problem. Anyway, I'm trying to get down over here to analyze the natural gas geyser. Gonna be a little bit difficult considering there's some major eye irritation, which is really upsetting poor Alpha. But, you know, sooner or later, we got to find out what's going on over here and analyze this geyser, so we might as well do it now. Gosh dang it, Ruby. Why did you have to go and make a mess? Ew. Ew, Ruby apparently didn't make it to bed last night. I'm not even sure why, really. Wait, can you not get... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Yes, this would be a problem, wouldn't it? You mind yourself out. I kind of wanted to just place down a new little area I can make into a natural gas power plant, and now I'm realizing that you are a fool and you've doomed yourself! All right, no, that's fine. Ruby, don't... Okay, well, you know, if you want to grab that stuff, go for it, I guess. You can make use of it and try to build out your ladder so you can get the heck out of here, but there we go, problem solved, see? All right, Ruby, you're solved. Everything's fine. Gosh dang it, though, why did you have to go and break my liquid lock? This actually, wait a minute, this could be a problem. Hold up. If all of my water just got pressed down into one tile like this, then we actually don't have enough water in order to make sure that the liquid lock is still secure. We need this polluted oxygen to stay where it is. Gosh dang it. Oh, great. Now we're having weird water tension physics where it keeps dropping some of the water I brought over here, so it then just drips down here. Gosh! Ugh! This is so stupid. I don't like it. Why did you have to go and do this, Ruby? All right, well, the good news is water's now on this tile, which means we can get rid of the polluted water, which means now we can fill this sucker back up, and everything's gonna be fine. I'm surrounded by idiots. It's just what it is. I mean, you could argue it was my fault that this happened in the first place, but you'd be wrong. I am surrounded by idiots. It's the curse of my genius. Well, in the meantime, a tiny bit of natural gas was able to escape. Actually, more than I thought was able to escape. How'd that even happen? Huh. There's actually a pretty bit of... yeah, okay. Well, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not worried about it. Who's worried about it? It's going to be fine. We'll take care of this later. I mean, we'll have plenty of natural gas to go around. We'll siphon this sucker out. We're going to turn this into a little power plant area, and then we'll send that up into the battery, and we'll save ourselves on coal because I've only got 6 tons left. And then what's wrong now? Oh, right, 0 power of any kind because no one dropped off coal at the dang generator, which means everything's shut down. Thank you, guys. In the meantime, Alpha finally is finished with the natural gas geyser. This thing is dormant and is going to be for the next 20 or so cycles. That's fine. There's plenty of natural gas to go around. Let's just build the rest of this area up and we'll be okay. All right, power, natural gas generator, at least 1 for now, should be plenty. So we'll shove this sucker over here in the corner. This also means we know we need to have some sort of a gas pump. Ideally right here would honestly be fine. I don't know, do you want it down over here? Does it matter too much? I guess it doesn't matter all that much. Over here's fine. And then we want to have probably some sort of a gas sensor. So if we ever find ourselves in a situation where the gas pressure is too low, we aren't wasting a lot of our time trying to pump this stuff out. So we'll go for a quick little Atmos sensor. Let's say right over here is fine. Attach that up with some automation wire, boom, and then of course we need to get this stuff ventilated all the way over here. One thing I do not know is what is going to happen as far as temperatures. I imagine it's going to emit some pretty darn hot gases. That is my assumption. Hot, natural, farty gas. That's my guess. I don't know. I haven't actually messed with natural gas before, I think, ever. Now that I think about it. We could just, like, dump the polluted water. Doesn't this thing have polluted water? Wait, I thought it said that it produces carbon dioxide and polluted water. Do you not have a way of draining the liquid? Oh, well, that's actually really annoying if that's the case. All right, tell you what. We are going to place mesh tiles underneath this that liquid is able to get flow through. And if I'm wrong, or right, I guess, and this thing just dumps polluted water all over the dang place, then at least it's going to fall down over here where I already want all the polluted water to hang out. Okay, natural gas generator is hooked up to the power grid. I'm a little bit concerned about possibly blowing a circuit here or so, but we'll see. I think the only thing left to do now is just go ahead and hook this sucker up, which we are now doing. So, we have an Atmos sensor. If we fall below 500 grams per tile, then it's going to shut this thing off automatically. So now we're going to go ahead and start pumping out a bunch of natural gas. Let's take a look at that ventilation, see what's happening. I assume this isn't gonna be too much natural gas for this thing to handle, but we'll find out. Yoinkus. All right, now some carbon dioxide is coming out, and sure enough, it looks like this thing might be peeing just a little bit of polluted water down over here. All right, well, that's kind of to be expected. Anyways, so now, with the power being what it is, okay, yeah, it's getting a little dangerous. Just a little dangerous over here. We could set up another smart battery to try and hook this thing up to the same automation system we have with the coal generator, so that this thing, because right now this thing's not going to stop. I mean, it's just going to keep pushing. So, yeah, we need to start getting some more copper, at least a fair bit more. But that does mean I need to enable a building that takes up a lot of power. I probably need to disable something somewhere so I don't blow a circuit. But what? What do I freaking turn off? I don't really have a lot. Ugh. Okay, what this means is I really need to consider with the whole, like, major high wattage power thing plus power transformers, which creates a lot of heat, which I'm not thrilled about, but might be what I need. Okay, we've got another battery hooked up. I want to say, first off, coal needs to be an emergency thing here. So if we ever find ourselves getting on, let's say, 20% or below, you can turn this thing on. Otherwise, at 10% or below, and then let's say, again, like 95 or maybe 90 to be safe. There we go. So if we have lots of power between our two batteries, that's now going to be the automation we need to make sure we're not wasting any particular materials. So this sucker's going to start getting filled up. Going to take a little while, but that's fine. And if we take a look at our power, we can see that, yeah, it's flashing red on occasion, which means we are definitely drawing more power than I can handle. I'm a little bit worried about this rock crusher thing. Tell you what, you can do it one more time, and then you need to stop, and we need to turn this thing off before anything horrible happens. And now I need to start rethinking how we're going to manage power for the long term across this entire base. which is going to be very, very annoying because I don't like having to deal with that, but it is part of the game. It's something you got to do. How are we doing over here with the Cool Slush Geyser? We're starting to generate a pretty good amount of polluted water. We do have a pretty hefty amount of oxygen. That's really high pressure, actually. 10 kilograms in a single tile. 37.8 kilograms? I mean, I know that polluted oxygen has, like, particulates in it that the regular oxygen doesn't, but even so. So yeah, we can't really generate much more. It's already over pressure. So now we need to start finding a use for the coolant. And I think we already know what we'd like to do with this water, but I don't need water yet. So maybe we can find another use for it, a giant air conditioning system, for example, but we've actually done pretty well at managing our temperatures too. So this ain't even that bad. I don't know, we're gonna have to think about some of that. In the meantime, let's make sure we insulate off more of the base so we don't continue having any issues with our temperature. And we'll continue, I don't even know if I want to excavate more of this slime biome, to be honest. This thing is freaking massive. It's the biggest slime biome I've ever seen. I don't know. There's plenty more that we need to do, but at least now that we've got some of our immediate power needs taken care of, and we are going to be generating some coolant, and we have Dreckos that should be slowly getting happier, and maybe, just maybe, having a glossy Drecklet egg at some point in the future, we can solve some plastic needs at the same time. I just got to figure out this whole suit nonsense, which I'm sure someone's going to yell about in the comment section a little bit. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.